Now, there have been reports that the president is possibly considering replacing you. Have you gotten any indication of that, and what's your response?
No, I don't have any indication of that. The president is fantastic. I'm very proud every single day to be able to work for him. I will serve at the president's pleasure, which I'm very grateful to get to do, and he gives me a wonderful opportunity to do a job that matters for the safety of the American people. Today we have an exciting announcement. As you know, the TSA is tasked with keeping people safe while they travel on our airlines, and they go through our airport security systems and do a phenomenal job year-round, day after day. TSA is under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security, and over a month ago we had a Democrat shutdown in Washington, D.C. that resulted in all of these individuals behind me and many, many more across the country not receiving their paychecks. The Democrat shutdown was devastating to them financially, to their families, to taking care of those that they love and putting food on the table and roof over their head each and every day. It negatively impacted the lives of millions of Americans, including the hardworking employees at the Transportation Security Administration. So today, we get the opportunity to do something different. Now that the government is open and operating, these individuals behind us, they continue to serve regardless of their situation and to keep people safe even when they weren't getting paid and the government was shut down. Despite those shameful partisan games, our TSA employees showed up every single day and went above and beyond to serve the American people. Now, we've made some exciting announcements at TSA recently. You've seen me in the last few weeks announce a $1 billion investment into new technology that will be deployed across the country at our security checkpoints to increase not just security systems for individuals that use our airlines, but also will make their jobs easier and more efficient. And they'll be able to focus on their customers, those that travel, but also know that the technology that they're using is streamlining the process to help them get people through those checkpoints even faster. We also have announced that we are implementing Real ID, and they've been doing phenomenal work making sure that people who travel have the right information, that they have the correct ID, and so far we have 94% compliance with Real ID across our airport systems. Real ID was passed in law over 20 years ago, and no administration had implemented and put it in place, and it's incredibly important that we know that people are traveling on our airlines should be there, that they pass security checkpoints, that we know who they are, and that they're using an ID that is verifiable and that it is compliant with the law. So that implementation has been put in place. We're grateful to see people across the country and around the world using Real IDs, but we're also making sure that it's facilitated and that people understand that we will be following the law. And now these individuals behind me, I want to talk a little bit about them because they're all being recognized for exemplary service during difficult times, but also on every single day when they show up for their jobs. I'm so proud of them, and I'm proud of everyone in leadership who inspired them to continue to do their jobs and to do them well. Because of that hard work, I'm here to present each of them that are behind me, and many, many more will also receive the $10,000 bonus checks for doing their jobs and doing it as an example to their fellow employees and colleagues. Some of them will use the dollars to pay off mortgages. Some of them will use it to pay off debts. Many of them maybe will buy an extra Christmas present for a loved one in their life. But they probably will use them for their priorities to make sure they're taking care of their families and their friends. Their stories inspire me every day. That's why we have these press conferences, is so that the American people can truly understand the people that serve at TSA. Kirk, I want to thank you for all your leadership here, and I want to thank everybody for all the work that you do to keep Americans safe and following and fulfilling the mission of TSA and all the work that you do each and every day. We've recently experienced our busiest travel day in history with over 3 million passengers securely screened and checked over the Thanksgiving holiday, and we're so grateful that even though more and more people travel on our airlines and through our airports, that we continue to keep them safe and fulfill our mission. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you may have.
Secretary, what is your reaction to the lawsuit that was just filed against against ICE and the federal government for urging the App Store to remove the alleged ICE tracking apps? Was that appropriate for the government to urge Apple to take those apps out of the store?
Absolutely. I think the violence against our ICE officers and our law enforcement is completely unacceptable. And anything that would dox them and release their whereabouts when they're out doing law enforcement operations against violent criminals is wrong and needs to be stopped. Those apps endanger their lives. And remember that most of these law enforcement officers live in those communities. They're out there on the streets in neighborhoods where they live, where their children go to school. They care about their communities and they want to get dangerous criminals off of their streets. So we're doing targeted arrests across the country to make sure that those who would violate Americans and citizens that live in these communities will be removed, they'll be brought to justice, and then they'll be deported.
Are all TSA officers here at TPA receiving one of these checks today, or is it just some?
TSA officers that are being recognized with $10,000 bonus checks are being recognized for exemplary service. So they're nominated from their leadership teams that goes up through the supervisors at TSA and then recommended for those bonus checks. So it's not just based on one factor or another. It's for individuals who continued to show up, fulfilled their shifts, but also did other things to help through the shutdown that helped the entire team to be successful. Not every single officer that works at this airport is receiving one, only those that have been nominated for exemplary service by supervisors and leadership.
How many are those? How many will be received?
Well, there's 16 up here on stage today. There's many more, and there's some that will continue to be recognized. So as we continue to go through the next month or two, we'll continue to recognize more and more individuals for all that they did. The nominations for these bonus checks hasn't stopped. So there may be more that get recommended, and we'll continue to do what we can to thank them for their service, but let them know that the work that they do matters.
So as for today, it's everyone on stage.
Well, actually, what they've got in their envelopes is a piece of paper that says the direct deposit will be in your account. Does that sound good? All right, that's how our accounting system works. And so they've got a piece of paper that says that direct deposit will be coming into their account on their next pay period. And there may be other officers that will receive that good news too.
Some unions have expressed concerns with these bonuses only rewarding a small subset of workers. What's your response to that?
I would say those individuals sound like the Grinch. They should be happy when other people get rewarded for doing good work. You know, in this country, we should be grateful and cheer on other individuals around us that we can point to that work every single day to keep us safe.
Secretary, for property owners, what information should landlords or apartment managers be expected to provide to ICE agents?
I don't know what they would be expected to provide to ICE agents. I think that they should comply with all federal laws that have always been followed in the operations that are being conducted by ICE agents or CBP officers or any federal officer or local law enforcement that's out there trying to keep them safe. I want to remind everybody, any operation that we're doing out on our streets and in our communities every day is done with the same protocols and processes that every law enforcement investigation has ever been done under. We still follow all of the same protocols and processes, and we make sure that every law is enforced.
Now, there have been reports that the president is possibly considering replacing you. Have you got any indication of that, and what's your response?
No, I don't have any indication of that. The president is fantastic. I'm very proud every single day to be able to work for him.
Do you expect to be serving all 4 years of this administration?
I will serve at the president's pleasure, which I'm very grateful to get to do, and he gives me a wonderful opportunity to do a job that matters for the safety of the American people.
Do you expect any raids to happen in the city of Tampa or in the Tampa Bay area?
I think everybody should know that across this country that we're going after violent criminals to help America be safe. The president campaigned and won election on a secure border and on making sure that we're getting violent criminals out of our country. That's what we're focused on every single day, and there is no safe haven in this country for criminals that would perpetuate violence against the American people. If there's murderers or rapists or traffickers out there, we're going to come find you, we'll bring you to justice, and then we'll deport you.
Housing economists is warning that mass deportations could deepen the housing crisis by removing both renters and the construction labor force. What do you believe those analysts are getting wrong?
We are so grateful that President Trump is focused on making sure that people in this country are safe, but also that they have the ability to care for their families, put food on the table, and he gets up every single day to make sure they have more dollars in their pockets to meet their family's need. So thank you, everybody, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
so sorry.